Good morning. Got it recording.
Morning.
Good morning. There you are. Hi, James.
How you doing
How
today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I have no complaints.
Oh, that's good. Always good to hear that. Gosh. And we've got Maria. Maria online? Oh no. You're good. Let's see. Hmm. First, let me pull that up. That would be helpful. I assume you've done the normal click the button on the bottom. Um, yeah, I figured. That's a good. I wish I was more tech savvy. You would think I would be. Hmm. Is there anything in your settings? Let's see. Maybe, 'cause I know I didn't. Okay, yeah, I tried that. Uh, 'Cause I know I purposely told it not to keep y'all muted, so we'll give her an extra minute, James, and then we'll get started.
Okay.
Hmm. Let's see if there's anything on my end that might be messing it up. Hmm.
So I'm not 100% sure.
Hmm.
These last two sessions have been recorded, correct?
The last session was the first session was not, which was my bad. I am working on trying to get it to y'all.
Okay.
Um, it's a very big file, so I'm trying to see if there like a Dropbox can be created.
Okay.
Um, yeah.
Oh. Well, the question I have is like, how do we act? Like, I don't know. I've never actually went and tried to access recorded videos before. Where do I go?
No, that's a good question. I think so if I can get this Dropbox set up, it should just be as easy as me giving you access and then you being able to get to it. So
Okay.
that is my hope. Just that me emailing it to you and then you being able to get to it, or maybe well, no, you don't have Blackboard set up yet for your class, so never mind about that. But that's my hope. I'm working on it. Hopefully this week will be the week where it finally gets fixed.
All
So,
right. Yeah, I don't
oh,
know. I never thought about it. I'm, this is what, second semester. So I started in the spring. So I'm still, and it's funny because I have some experience with Blackboard, but it's like 10 years old and it's changed. So everything to do with Blackboard, everything I know is completely different. So I just ask dumb questions now.
no, it's not dumb. It's not dumb. No, you heard me struggling with figuring out how to get Maria's side fixed because yeah, no, technology is not always my friend. Uh,
Yeah, it used to be awesome, but now I'm just, I guess I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. I feel like they do it on purpose. Hi, Maria.
Hi, Kristen. I
Oh,
logged in on my phone, so I don't know what happened with my computer. It was something I don't know.
no, you're good. I've had that before. Oh, I did. Oh, I did have that before. I remember that. Oh, that was such a pain to try to find too. If I can
Yeah.
remember what it is that I did that caused that, I'll email you and tell you how to fix it. 'Cause
Okay, thank you.
I also have that problem. Yeah, no problem. All
It could just be
right.
an update. I got hung up yesterday because I needed to restart my computer.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I have a setting, something on my settings that has a one. I think it's an update. I haven't
Yeah.
done it yet.
Oh, so it might be that, or it might be that your input got switched. Mine did. That's what it was. Like somehow. like it changed what was dealing with the input, like in the settings. And so I just messed around until I found the one that
Okay. I'll
made
look at
people
that.
hear me.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'll look at, thank you.
not trying to cut you off. Gotta love Zoom meetings, right? All right, my first question, Maria's kind of off the hook on this one, so I'm looking entirely at James right now. But
Yay.
how are y'all doing in memorizing the alphabet?
It's coming along.
Coming along? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, this past week it's been busy. I've been as odd as it is. My family went on a vacay. I stayed back to watch the dogs. Family went up to Pennsylvania to visit family. And I spent more time basically doing work around the house I can't do while they're home. So,
That's fair.
you know,
Oh,
I didn't study it as hard as I should have been.
no, you're good. You're good. So just for that, I'm going to make y'all endure this one more time. I mean, not that Marie has endured this at all, but let's see.
I think it's going to be more helpful if I actually sit down and make flashcards instead of trying to read it from my paper. I think that's going to be my best
Yeah,
bet.
that's a
That's what
good
I'm
idea.
now. I'm gonna make note cards from the slides you sent me.
Very good. Yeah, that would be immensely helpful to you guys for sure. Um, and then Maria, I also suggested to them singing the alphabet as well, which James is thrilled to know I'm never making him do over the Zoom calls ever again. But but there is something about finding a rhythm, even if you don't sing it to the alphabet, just something to give you something that you can repeat over and over and over. And then you can use the flashcards to help you remember which symbol's which. Um, but yeah, let's see. I think so I guess like if you're okay, Maria, maybe I won't make James suffer one more time. Do you feel comfortable enough with the alphabet, with the idea of the alphabet?
Um, the You mean to sing it or just to study it?
All of the above. I mean, I'm not making you sing it now. I won't make you,
Oh,
perform for us.
I think the slide that you sent me is really helpful because it gives examples of how to say it because I don't know how to some of them I know, but a lot of them I didn't. And so that is really helpful. I wanted to put that. I haven't done the flashcards yet. Um, but I was going to put that on the flashcards as well because I think if I could hear it, then I'd be able to memorize it better.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. Being able to just say the letters is definitely helpful enough. Okay, very good. So I will dispense for now with the alphabet and hopefully get a recording out to y'all soon. Gosh, hopefully two recordings after today. But before we get into any more Greek, I just wanted to go ahead and give a few uh matters that I think a lot of people have in their mind when they come to study Greek. And I think oftentimes this doesn't get clarified enough especially for beginning Greek students. So if you'll indulge me, I just want to do a little bit of what I call disillusioning, I suppose. So, I mean, you probably both are just doing this for the credits um because it's required. I don't know. Maybe you really, really wanted to study Greek. I don't know. If you did, that's awesome. I mean, I did. That's why I majored in it in undergrad. But I realize that most people don't quite have the level of interest that I do. Um, but what I really want to hammer home to you, whether you just keep your Greek level at like a base level or if you go on to learn more about it, I just want to give you a feel of what this is like. So when you start to study a language, and Greek is no exception, you will find that context and culture are the absolute most important things in the world in terms of understanding what the heck they're saying. And a lot of times, especially for a language that's so far removed from us, we we get to it and we have more questions about what we're reading in the text than we have answers. You may maybe, I mean, I don't know what preconceptions you are coming into this class with, but a lot of times Greek students think, oh, if I learn Greek, I will be able to understand the Bible so much better. Eh, not necessarily. I mean, there are definitely areas where you'll go, oh my gosh, that makes so much more sense. There's plenty of those, but for every one of those, there's probably going to be 2 or 3 more questions that'll pop up in your mind. What the heck does this mean? Another problem which the professors at TKU, for example, have to deal with is what manuscript do we use to translate? Because it's not just one. We don't just have one manuscript. It's a bunch of like ancient manuscripts of varying dates, fragments of manuscripts, like everything that we have been able to find of scripture, we have, in in a larger text, we put into a larger text. And I doubt either one of you is going to go into intense textual criticism, and I don't know enough of that can of worms to probably even, have the nerve to speak on it. But um, just know that it's quite something to even decide, do I translate from the Nestle Aland, the Tyndale, the Textus Receptus, so the majority text? How do scholars pick what to study? The Tyndale is my personal favorite just because it's the most recent in scholarship. It's the Nestle Aland is great. I think that's what you might be using. There's nothing wrong with the Nestle Aland. I mean, I don't hate it. There's nothing from it that I think, oh wow, that's terrible. Why would they use that? But the scholarship is not the most recent. Not always necessarily a bad thing, but the Tyndale's more up to date. It's taking into consideration things we have learned archaeologically, historically, all that fun stuff. So, but it's a lot. It's a lot to deal with. The other thing that I really, really, really want to caution you guys on is that lexicons, as you can see in my slide, provide all the meanings of each word as it's used in as many texts as they can think of, and that includes non-scriptural texts. And so a lot of times I have heard many pastors, many pastors pull up a Greek word and they'll choose the definition of the word that they find in the lexicon that they feel best makes their point. Which can be problematic. It just because it has all of these different meanings doesn't mean that it always has all of those meanings at the same time. The context really determines what the word means and what the author's trying to convey. And so I just really want to caution you guys, when you do start translating and you're using a lexicon, try your best. It's hard. I mean, it's difficult. It's such an easy trap to fall into, so I'm not bashing anyone. But just do your best not to find, ooh, I like that definition the best in this context, and just like slap it in there. Agape is probably the one that's been the most like that has been done to the most. Usually we're taught, this means God's pure love, except when it means sexual love. Or in John 3:19, where it says men loved the darkness more than light, and the word that is used there is agape. And
Uh-huh.
so it's, it's a lot more complex. I mean, language is complex, people are complex, and this is a good thing. I mean, it's amazing that God has used our complexities and still, like, I mean, and like in our messes, honestly, just our messy way of thinking, and allowed us, like when I say us, I mean more the writers of scripture, allowed the writers of scripture to have a say, like have a part, in writing his word. And I think that's beautiful, honestly. I think that is the greatest example of God partnering with man ever. And you'll hear a lot of people disparage scripture because it's got so many mistakes and so many flaws. There's so many versions, blah, 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 blah. I don't think we need to have a conundrum about it. I really don't. I think God used that, and and it's still consistent, even with all of the discrepancies and mistakes and whatever. Like it's all still the most cohesive work ever written. And I just think that's amazing. Um, but yeah, so that's my soapbox moment, guys. And you can see like at the bottom of the slide, I mean, you can see we do this in English too. If I take the word ball, I mean, and I don't give you a sentence, I just give you the word ball. What do I mean? What do I mean by that? Um, do I do I mean a softball, baseball? I mean, am I meaning like a different, which kind of sports ball am I talking about? Or am I not talking about that at all? Maybe I'm talking about a dance. Maybe I'm one of those old fashioned, you know, romantic people. Not saying that I am, but maybe I'm talking about a ball. Or I'm having a ball. I mean, we have so many different ways that we can use just that word alone. And the same goes for all like the other words that I have there. Just, I won't go through them all, but I just wanted to make the point that language is complex, it's fluid. I mean, it still is. There's not always a black and white with everything. Um, Not even Greek, which is a very structured language. But anyway, uh, yeah, that's it for that slide. Any questions? Did I make did I throw you for a loop or anything?
No, I'm good.
All right, awesome.
Kristen, I had a question, because this is my first time kind of taking this. So when we take Greek, I was one that I thought that once I understood it more, that I would be able to better understand what the text was saying. Um, and how you said what you said, it really opened my eyes. And is that just another course where they'll kind of teach us how to find it in context? And I just want to be a good theologian and teach the Bible rightly. And I don't, do you understand my question, Kristen? It's like, well, how do we
Oh,
even,
absolutely.
how do we even, I don't really know my question. Maybe I could type it out to you. I apologize.
No, you're good. No, I think I know what you're saying. Like how can we, I guess maybe I'll try to fix it and see if this sounds right. Like how do we I guess know what it's saying? Like how can we, I guess, be more certain? Is that more
Yeah.
along the lines, or
Yeah.
yeah.
Is are trying to dig into like the Greek. Because I was one that when I first got saved, I bought all kinds of lexicons, and I just, like you said, you don't pick and choose. Um, so how do you know?
Yeah. No, it's a good question. I don't think TKU has a specific course that goes full depth into this. My greatest advice to you is if this is something that you're super ridiculously interested in, I would try to audit classes, maybe like just more language class, like more Greek classes. Go, because TK only offers 2 semesters, maybe a third. Sometimes I'm a little sketchy on that. I don't know. I did extra like independent studies, so that there's that. Um, but really the best way that we can even begin to understand what's being said is honestly to study the language even more, which sounds really daunting, but I think that there is a great um ooh, how was I trying to say this? There's great value in understanding where Koine Greek comes from. So, because what you're learning is Koine, right? The common language is, you know, what was standardized and then used throughout the entirety of the Roman Empire at this point, and that's what Scripture was written in, and that's what the Septuagint, yeah, New Testament and Septuagint both were written in Koine Greek, but Greek was, you know, a language long before that. Classical Greek, which is actually much more difficult than Koine Greek to understand just because of all the dialects. Oh my gosh. Oh, you don't know the pain that I went through every semester in my undergrad because I would start with the Athenians used Attic Greek, and so I would translate one of the ancient writers, Lysias. Okay, all right, and I learned his style and I learned his way of doing things. Oh my gosh, okay, and then the next semester we're doing Homer, the Odyssey, and he's writing over in Asia Minor, and he's got a completely different dialect, and he's got a different way of spelling things. It's like having to learn the language all over again. So,
Wow.
and then you learn it and you start to see how it all connects. Like at first you're just focused on all the differences and it's freaky and weird and you're overwhelmed and you just feel like chucking your textbook out of the window. Which I will say, if you never feel like doing that, you're not doing it right. uh it's just, I mean, that's just the nature of the language. But um in order to really understand a language, you really have to understand the context of it, its culture. What was Greek culture like? What was Roman culture like? And this is where it gets to be like the most ridiculous thing, because I mean, I'm still learning too. It's like, okay, what was the Jewish culture like within a Greco-Roman culture? It just goes on and on and on. It's like, oh my gosh. Um, you opened a can of worms with that question. I'm sorry. I probably gave way more than you even wanted.
No, it's
But
good. Good. I understand what you're saying.
yeah, so
Okay.
but yeah. But no, I mean, I think it's very worthwhile. I think it's worthwhile. And honestly, all of those studies have helped me understand scripture better than I ever have before. So I don't want you to think like, oh my gosh, like I'm just not going to understand anything and all my beliefs are just going to be like crushed. Like that's not my meaning at all. There's plenty in there that you'll see, wow. And there are some things that'll make you go, huh, I've thought about that wrong for quite
All
a
right.
while.
All
But
right.
there's nothing to fear about. I mean, it's God's word.
Man.
So,
Yes.
so he is
Thank
faithful.
man, he is.
Yeah, so, all right. You've heard me lecture on that long enough. Anyway, so one thing I really want to get you guys used to is word order, sentence structure. So the Greeks, we we kind of do a little bit of this in English when we want to be fancy, but we don't do it very often. The Greeks will switch up word order quite a bit. They don't have a standard subject, verb, object, whatever. They they have, I mean, it could be. Sometimes it is in that order, sometimes it's not. And that's the fun. That's the fun of Greek. This is like a puzzle for y'all. Basically, the most important thing that you're gonna learn is the endings of words. What does a noun look like versus what does a verb look like? And the endings and sometimes the prefixes will give you hints as to what it's saying. Um, but this is also, this is also another one of those instances where sometimes it doesn't make it super clear, if it's talking about um like if they use a bunch of pronouns all at once. Okay, wait, which he is he talking about at this point? With like he who was it Jesus or was it, like the I can't remember, oh my gosh, I can't remember the example. was for, but you know what I mean, or someone else, like what was going on there. Um, it's not too bad though. But basically you'll get used to seeing sentences that looks something along the lines of, bites the dog the boy. It's like, okay. I mean, I'm assuming the dog is the one doing the biting, but I mean, I don't know. The boy the dog bites is that is it? I mean, again, like it would make more sense if the dog's biting the boy, but maybe the boy's biting the dog. In English, maybe, who knows? Um, but the endings, there's like 4 different noun endings. Well, for just the singular masculine alone. You'll see what I mean. It's a lot. It's a lot to memorize, but you'll do fine. But that'll indicate to you what's going on in the sentence. There are several words that do always come second, no matter what. And I have them written de, un, and gar. De, just to give you vocab, is and or but. And it'll interchange depending on the context of the sentence. That sounds freaky, it's not. You'll pick up on it, after a while. It's just like, okay. Un is so or therefore. And then gar is for. Which at least that one ends with the same letter. So and most of the time what you'll see right before those words is a definite article. So basically, like those words will split up a definite article with its noun. Greek always puts a definite article with its nouns, even its proper nouns, unless it's trying to convey indefiniteness. So if they don't have a word for a, like or a book, they don't say a book, they just say book. They don't put the definite article there. And that is their way of conveying indefiniteness. But yeah, you'll learn the definite articles. That'll be a lesson all on its own. Some other things just to get used to is when a word ends in a vowel and the following word begins with a vowel. There's 2 different things that can happen depending on what word it is. So some of them will drop a vowel at the end, like, so it's the first word. The first word will drop its last vowel and it'll be replaced with an apostrophe and it'll just go right into the next word. So apo uranu, which is from heaven, that's what that means. Apo uranu, the Greeks decided that's too much work to say. So apuranu is what that meshes into. And that's what you'll see for the most part. So when I'm telling you this because it's when you're seeing it for the first time in the wild, it's very easy to look at and go, that's a word I've never learned before. Op? What is op? I don't recognize this. And so it's just something, if you see an apostrophe like that, just out of the blue, it means that a vowel's been dropped. So that gives you a hint. Then you can go back into the back of the book and search for op, but something that has a vowel at the end, and you will find apo. And then there's Esteen. Esteen is one of the, this one doesn't happen as much, but it always happens with Esti, which is the third person of to be. So that would be like he, she, it is Esti. Every single time you see that word and it's followed by a word beginning with a vowel, they'll slap a new at the end of Esti. So Esti. So instead of Estianer, which just sound like just very jolting to try to say, Estinaner, which flows off the tongue so much easier. And that is translation of that, just for the fun of it, is he is a man. Basically, I made that one. He is a man. So any questions on those 2 Live. Good. Haven't lost you yet?
No,
Okay. All right. Very good. All right. Let's see. Okay. This is not from scripture, but this is I have this just for the sake of uh helping. This is the very first paragraph of Greek I ever translated in my life. And I don't think it has, I read through it as best I could because my original class was classical Greek and not Koine Greek, and but I read through it, doesn't look like there are any classical pieces in it. I'm scanning it one more time just for the fun of it. Yeah, yeah. Everything looks pretty good. Okay. So, I would like James, if you could read like just and just take your time. We're in no rush. I realize you have no idea what you're looking at.
Oh,
But if you could,
there you go.
yeah,
There you
yeah, if
stop.
go to the okay, you see the I don't you can see my mouse, I assume, I hope. Um this dot right here,
Yeah.
you'll see that a lot. That is their equivalent of a semicolon.
Huh.
So, or a period. It could be, I mean, sometimes it's a period, but we have periods too. You can see that. Um, if you see a semicolon, that's a question mark. I should probably tell you that. The punctuation is going to be kind of funky. Um, but at least periods are the same.
All right.
So yeah, so if I could just have you kind of stumble through, James, just to the semicolon.
Let's see. Oh, hold on, I missed something here.
Yeah, write down, yeah, Maria, like you write down transliteration, and like which is the English version of the letters. Um, you're totally welcome to do that. Um, that'll help you start getting into the habit of seeing what this looks like.
okay.
Um, and I don't know if you know anything about breathing marks, Maria. I did just think of that because the rest is I can kind of go on the fly. But do you know anything about breathing marks? Did you see that slide?
No, no, I didn't see that.
Okay. I also don't think I'm this is an updated version of this PowerPoint. I'm going to send it out again.
Okay.
But I don't think I actually explained how um like I don't think I had it written down how each one works. So this first one, which James I'm sure already knows, this is whole. And the reason why I bring up breathing marks is because it has this little backwards comma right above it.
Oh,
Sorry, James.
no, I'm talking to myself. That's my fault.
Yeah, you're good. And so when you see a backwards comma over a vowel, and it's always the first, like when a vowel begins a word. If, and so it's only ever seen there. Backwards comma is a rough breathing mark, and that's an indicator that you are to make an aspirating sound with the vowel. So that's where they have the H sound. Ho. Ho. So yeah, so that's that. And then you'll see this word right here, which I won't say aloud because James is working through it. It has a regular apostrophe like above it. Same with this word over here and this one. When you see it again, first when a vowel begins a word, you see it on the first vowel. It's a breathing mark. That one's a smooth breathing. And all that one's telling you is you don't give an H, you don't give an aspirating sound. You just say the letter as it is. So H, no H.
Okay.
Oh, let's see.
Oh,
Okay, so that's
You can go word by word too, James.
I'm trying to just kind of pop through some of these. Just, of course, I'm looking at what I just did and then not looking at. There we go. So, see, that's D key, I, O, P, yes. Okay. Yeah, it's a, it's V. Wait. Oh, hold on, let me see here. This is probably way off. I wrote a couple of things here because I forgot about diphthongs.
Oh, you're
So
good. You're good. We'll work through it.
let's see. O, Dec, Eopolis, Othe, Ois, Eston, Easton.
Ooh, that was
Eston.
Estin. Yeah, Estin.
Esteen.
Yeah, very. Yeah. Hey, that was honestly that wasn't too bad. Honestly. The main diphthong that you were struggling with, alpha iota, right
Yeah.
there. Yeah, so when you see that, think of aisle. Like our word aisle starts with AI. It's I.
So it'd be more like Deciples. Deciples? Disciples?
Um, Almost. Okay, so I see what's throwing you. Okay, yeah. So you see how the Omicron here has an accent over it. And
Yeah.
not only is that telling you to stress that syllable, it's also separating it entirely from the preceding diphthong.
Oh.
Yeah. So the way this word would be pronounced would be Dikaiopolis. Opolis.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Opolis. So D key, D cut, DK. Opolis. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which in this case was like the name of a character in my like that was like the father of like a family in this textbook. It was just the funniest thing. His name means like city of justice. It's I mean, just
All right.
like but so it's kind of a ridiculous whatever, but
So
anyway.
there is one thing that was also, I don't think we went over at all. That little for boy, I wish I had something to be like, look at that. It's Yoda, but it's got the little, it's like an upside down smile.
Oh, this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's good. So that is a circumflex.
We did go
And
over that. Ah, there it is. Okay.
no, no, you're good. It's all good. No, there's so much being thrown at you, and that's why we're doing this now, right? Instead of
All right.
trying to shove it down your throat at the beginning of the semester. Oh man. Based most of the time, I'm double checking to see if there's anything extra that this book has to say. Most of the time when you see a circumflex, it's indicating that it's a long vowel sound. It just doesn't always, and sometimes it'll take the place of the acute or grave accent. So like here, for example, um, it does, but
Okay.
here it doesn't. And it's just basically it's just, lengthening or it's putting stress on the fact that this is a lengthened vowel. Um, I don't think there's anything really more complex than that.
Okay.
Pitch, yeah, pitch and length. That's pretty much it. Yeah,
All right.
but yeah, there we go. All right, good. So you have Hodikaiopoulos. Try this one again. Try this third word again.
Let's see here. I have. Let me see if I wrote that. Athioius. Oh, Us.
Oh, that was good. Try it.
Ah,
Try it. Yeah, good. Uh-huh.
hold on. I think you like I also thigh. Thigh.
Try.
Athioius.
Oh, that was close. I think the first time you said this word, you had it even closer because you had that Ada pronounced correctly. A.
Mhm.
So that would be Athe.
Oh, I threw. That's my fault. I actually threw. I don't know why I did it this time. I don't have it written like that, but I saw the apostrophe, and for some reason, I kind of changed that. So that's my
Oh,
fault.
no, you're good.
So
No, yeah, try again.
it'd be Atheoinus. Ithai Ithai Noeos. Ithai Noeos.
Very
Oof, no, I
close.
can't say it. Yeah.
No, you're good. You're good. So this diphthong again, that's alpha iota I. So and then again, this has the omicron has the accent over it, separating it from the diphthong ios. But so this whole word is a the nios.
Nios.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, because and you were just getting mixed up with it, but the new came after the Ada. So Athenios.
Inos. Okay.
Ios.
Uh,
Ios.
Ios.
You'll see that in the book of Acts. You'll see that word in the book of Acts for sure. Because Paul visits that city.
Nios. Athenaeus. Nios. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait.
Athe.
Athe.
Athe. Mhm.
Athe.
Not
Nios.
good. 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 All right. And then you already said this one, esteem. Very good. Very good. I'll translate this one for you. Okay. So Paul Dikaiopoulos, again, that's just his name. Dikaiopoulos, whatever, City of Justice. Paul at the beginning is I'm trying to think if there's a simplistic way of saying. I'll just say for now, it is a definite article. And so you'll see they even, again, they attach it to their proper nouns too, just so you know. This is a male and this is the subject, basically, is what this is saying. So, Dikaiopoulos, fling yourself to the end of the sentence because there's our verb esteem is. Dikaiopoulos is Athenaios, Athenian. He's from Athens.
Oh,
Yeah. I'll refrain myself from getting too complex with the explanation. There's plenty of time for that. Let's see, anything else to add to that sentence? Nope. Okay. Um,
right
if you
back.
would like, hmm? Oh,
I'm gonna step away real quick.
you're good. So, Maria, I mean, I realize that you are like being flung into this.
Yeah,
Um,
mind.
I- it's like, oh gosh, here we go. You're reading on your first day. Oh no. Um, here, since James stepped away for a second, I'm gonna bring you back to this slide just to kind of get you accustomed to this, so I'm not flinging you into a sentence all at once. Um, so if you could look, honestly, like let's start with an easy one. So number three, um, do you have the alphabet in front of you?
Yes, I do.
Okay, good, good. So what I would recommend, which is what James was doing, is yeah, writing down each letter, like each Greek letter in the English. So just to give you the first one, alpha like is A. I mean, you put an A. Um, put that out and then try to say it, and I'll help you with pronunciation,
Okay.
all that. Mhm.
Oh, is it aroma?
Mhm. It is. It
Oh,
is
it is.
aroma. Very good. Yeah. 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 As you can tell up here, like all of these words we use in English, we stole it straight from the Greek.
Uh-huh.
All the fun stuff.
That's what
Let's see.
was
Hmm.
just putting it into the English and then depending on, I guess, how you breathe, with the marks above the letter, is how he would say it. Like ho, like you said, the first one was will you breathe out on a like a huh, like a H?
Yes. Yeah. For this one, yes. So let me go back to this one. So rough breathing versus smooth breathing. Kind of blew it up for y'all so that maybe you could see a little bit better. Because I know the font sizes get ridiculous. Um, but yeah, so yeah, if it breathes in, my favorite way of thinking about this is okay, if it's facing inward, it's leading into the word. So it's making you kind of like move, like it puts motion into the word. So I mean, that's how I think of it.
Okay.
And then the smooth breathing is facing away from the rest of the word, so it's just silent. It's not making any sound. It's not contributing. Just you find ways of remembering things that just sound so dorky, but
Oh, but true, because it's like, yeah, I see what you mean.
Mhm. Yeah. So did that answer your question or
Yeah, yeah. I just have to go through these slides a little bit more carefully.
no problem? No problem at all. Um, let's see. Yeah, I would definitely recommend Maria going through these, practicing these. Um, feel free to email me at any time if you have questions on like what the heck is this, just even if it's like, is this right? I don't care. Email me. It's fine. But I would definitely recommend starting to look at those now, or sooner rather than later, I suppose. Just to get used to this wacky new system of understanding the world. And since James is back,
Yay!
and I had Maria reading off of what you're already used to. So for your sake, I'll have you practice. It might take you the rest of the time. I don't know, but like we could practice this line up until here. and Maria can kind of get a feel of what a master does when learning to read Greek.
Yeah.
Let me do this. Let me take out these pages.
And I would still recommend Maria, definitely. I'm only saying this because I can't see you. You may already be doing this. But I would definitely recommend you also like already like transliterating this, um, doing your best to figure out what this is saying, at least in terms of, the
Yeah.
letters.
Okay. Which word are we doing again?
So we're going, I'm making James go from this word right here down to this semicolon right here. So we're
Okay.
doing all of that. Yep.
That's okay.
It's a chunk. But I believe in James. I think he can do it.
I don't know what I did to give you that impression, but okay.
You've been here since day one. I believe in you, man.
Yay! So let me think. Oh,
And if you want to do word by word or like a couple of words and then keep going, I'm totally fine with that too. I won't make you do the whole thing consecutively if you're uncomfortable with it.
yeah. Well, let me take a look here. Just let me see. It's so- uh, okay, hold on. So I have Poike say DK DK Iopolis.
Good.
All right, so I have this written for that digraph as an oo sound, like mood. So would that be ook?
Ook. Yes, it would.
Okay. That
Yeah.
threw me. That kind of threw me. So I just kind of hit the brakes there because I don't know, just doesn't sound right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know. Oh, there's gonna be plenty of words where you're like, that can't be a word. There's no way.
So yeah, it threw. Okay, well that's good. So and then that's in
Yeah, and yeah,
and yeah, I had to look again. I'm still
oh
trying
yeah.
to remember which way is rough, and which one's not. So and that's ta Thais. No,
Yeah, yeah, Tice. Tice.
Thais. Okay, so and then that's going to be Athenaeus.
Yeah, almost, except don't rush through it because it is spelled slightly different than the last time.
See, oh, okay, so Athenice.
Yeah, I think nice.
Let's see here, and that's going to be that's Ayla.
Very
Allah,
close. So Allah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Allah,
Allah. And I add the stress at the end just because the big Grav accent at the end. But yes, very good. Okay.
in, in,
And
Hui. Tios.
almost. So take away
Oh,
the tau and the sigma, Omicron, Yoda.
it's
Think of Try.
Like an oi, so toys. No,
Toys. Yes.
toys. Yeah. Then let me see here. So let's still some set up. Og Piois.
Very
Toys.
close.
Og
What
Toys.
is agrois? Yes. Toys agrois. Yes. Very good. Yeah. So whole thing would sound something like Oike deho Dikaiopolis uk entais Athenais, Allah entois agrois. That is um so this is again what I mentioned before, de being one of those that's always the second letter, but it's usually in English the first letter. So but this is word order, right? But Dikaiopolis lives. So this is telling you he lives. Basically, straightforward. It's he lives and Dikaiopolis not in, so but we don't do that. So and Dikaiopolis lives not in Athens, but in the fields or in the country. In the fields is their way of saying in the country.
Okay.
Uh,
I like it. I'm
yeah.
gonna start saying that.
Yeah, right.
Hmm.
I'll have you do just these last 3 words, and then I think we'll call it a day. Just to
Okay.
get to a period. Throwing all the diphthongs at you. Gosh.
Yeah, it's like following a trend, isn't it? Let's see here. So got the oh, Altuco Scalp Estin.
Nice. Yes. Very good. Yeah. Yeah. Auturgos gar estin. Again, there's that gar for he is a farmer.
Hmm.
And that is what that means. Yeah, very good. Very nice. I'm going to stop sharing. There is one word just for the sake of just because I mentioned before, yeah, there's some words that you're going to go, there's no way this is an actual thing. I just found it in Matthew 24, verse 15. I'm putting it in the chat. Ooh, except, unless I actually spell it wrong. Try that word out.
Whoa. Okay. Let's see. Hey, let me see here. Popped up. I gotta go back into the chat so I can pull it up. Let's see here. Okay, so
I'll tell you, sorry, because I didn't put an accent. The accent's on on the upsilon there. Right. No, it's not. It's on the epsilon. It's on the first. It's on this letter right on the You can't see my mouse anymore. On the first vowel is where the accent is.
what the Let's see here. Let's see, so. Trying to also make sure I have this right. So that's beta, sigma, epsilon.
Oh, so the second letter is a delta. Actually, it's a
Is it
lowercase
delta?
delta.
All right.
That is.
I wanted to make sure because I hate to admit it, my writing looks very similar. So
Oh,
I'm
that's
trying to
fair.
like match up.
Yeah,
So,
you're good.
okay. So beta, delta, epsilon, lambda,
Okay.
and then upsilon, gamma,
Mm-hmm.
mu, and alpha.
Yep, that's it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I don't know even know how to even is the
Even go at
is beta silent in this one?
it's not.
So
It's not.
it's like that makes the Duluma? What? I don't know.
It's delugma. Delugma.
I
You
forgot
just like
forgot gamma for some reason.
you're good. No, I love and hate it. It means abomination, and I remember that because this word is an abomination. But this is where Jesus is talking about the abomination of desolation in the temple. That's the word he uses, delugma, and
Boy,
yeah, I've never forgotten that word since the first time I saw it, just because I was like, yeah, that's an abomination.
Wow.
that's
So
okay.
anyway, look at that. All right, that's enough torture for today, guys.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm glad I could be of help. I'll send out an email about next Saturday as soon as I can. I'll get the recordings out as soon as I can.
Okay.
And yeah, I'll see you next time, guys.
Sounds good.
you.
Take
Have a
care.
good week. You too.